From DRDO to the sets of Kannada cinema, this is one conversation you should not miss. Today we have with us Rekha Kudligi, an aerospace engineer who is now a prominent actor in the Kannada cinema with movies like Sakutumba Sametha and the recently released Maryade Prashne and many more. So in this conversation, we'll talk about how did that transition happen and how can we make such a transition. At Wonder Woman Wednesday, we speak to women from diverse walks of life and we listen to their journey and get inspired. If you like the concept of this channel where we inspire women all through the day celebrating their stories and journeys, do subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Welcome Rekha to Beyond Her Story. Thank you for being a part of Wonder Woman Wednesday.
Yeah. First of all, thanks a lot, Sneha, for having me for this interview.
Thank you.
And it's my pleasure to be here. And I would like to share some insights into my journey. And if that's going to help someone make their decision or, help them in their journey, I would be really very happy about that.
Yeah. So the first question is about, I think many people would have asked you.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in the aerospace, as an aerospace engineer, you've worked at DRDO and then Honeywell.
Right.
And for almost more than 2 decades, right?
Right.
So how did that kida come that you should now maybe move to a creative field?
Yeah. So this kida was always with me, right from my childhood. I think the kida was actually put in by my mother.
Okay.
So when I was very young, she would make us do some small skates and, get my campus children together. So I grew up in NITK campus. So my dad was a professor there. So all my classmates, she would get them together and make us do enact small skits. And that's how that kida was actually put into me. And I actually, fed that kida all through my journey. I was a Akashvani audition artist, and along with that, along with my work at LRDA or DRDO, I was also doing theatre, but that was more as a hobby and not professionally. And luckily for me, in LRD, there was a very established theatre personality called Venkat Subaya, who's also a state level awardee. So he used to direct very good plays for us, and then that was a wonderful opportunity for me to get groomed and learn from him. And that continued that's how I continued my passion right through Honeywell as well.
Yeah. So it was not like a sudden jump where, like for me, if I take that jump, it will be very sudden because, I've been in the technical field.
Right.
Maybe I like to dance a bit, but more than that, I've never done theatre or anything. So for you, because you've been doing it, I think the transition must have been a bit easier, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Because I was always, so voice modulation is something through radio.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
correct,
also,
correct.
But there's also another thing. See, working for theatre is one thing,
Mm-hmm.
Acting on the theatre is one thing, and acting for the camera is a totally different animal. So you also have the approach to acting in advertisements and the approach to acting in movies is also different.
Oh, wow.
So it probably helped me to a large extent, I would say, but I definitely needed to recalibrate and train myself.
Okay. So you're saying that your experience, but as per my understanding, theatre is like live, right?
Yeah, theatre is live.
So you find which one, was it easier to adapt the movie part of it because you came from theatre?
Yeah, definitely. Theatre, see what happens, this is my experience in theatre. What happens in theatre is you're on the stage and you are living that role.
Yeah.
So you are totally involved in that.
Correct.
And that's how the expressions or the whole, if you want to call that acting, is very genuine because you are coming from a very deeper space of experience. And so it is very real. So
understood.
If you are able to do that piece of getting the reality for the camera in pieces, because it's like a small stretch you have to do and then there's a cut. So during that action and cut, if you're able to get to the space of theatre, then Yes, that would definitely help, and that is a big plus.
Yeah.
So theatre is definitely a very big plus for acting in
Yeah.
movies and
But I
advertising.
think now, because you mentioned, I'm trying to think about it, but as audience, we normally don't realize that what you said, especially about going inside, like in depth, because I think in theater, like you said, for that much time of the of the play or whatever you're doing, you're totally into it.
Yeah.
And here you get those breaks, and it
Yeah.
may break your flow, right?
It'll break your flow, but the challenge here is to get into that space when they say action and be able to deliver during that small thing. So that's a different kind of a challenge as against theatre.
Yeah.
Theatre is more like you get a response or you get the feedback right away. Immediately.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage.
Rekha, my next question to you is, you said you were doing theatre while you were working. So when you took that conscious break, was it with the thing in mind that you want to now act in movies? Was that the reason?
Yeah. So since I was very passionate about this field, in Honeywell we used to have Karnataka Rajyotsava celebrations, and I used to make short films and also act and direct, write some small scripts and things like that. Small stuff, very small stuff.
Yeah.
But since I was I always wanted to make movies, and I always wanted to act. So what I did at the time when I felt that I have done enough, to my satisfaction in the technical field, because I was very passionate about the technical field. Also, I wanted to be in research and development. That's why I studied and correct, trained myself so much. So when I felt that I've done enough, I've experienced all the roles, and let me look at something more fulfilling and exciting. So that's when I said, let me train, and I attended a filmmaking course in IIT Chennai. So that's where I got to know a lot about movies and how involved it is, how many departments are there, and how challenging it is to actually make even a short film, because as part of the course, we also had to make a short film at the end, a group of us.
Like a project.
Like a project. So that was very interesting for me, and also it gave me an insight into the complexity of movie making. And then I also thought, I also did a theatre course called from Misfit. That is my interest lies fully in theatre.
Okay.
Misfit. So Ratan Thakur was the teacher there. See, I was used to one kind of theatre.
Correct.
But Ratan Thakur sir actually helped me dig deeper into my own experiences and being able to use that for projections onto the role.
Yeah. Okay.
So that theatre course I did.
Okay.
So once I did that, so as part of the theatre course also we had a final drama to be enacted. So I wrote the script, and as a group of us enacted that play. And there, like I said, in theatre you get immediate feedback.
Yeah.
So people did come and tell me that it was good and they enjoyed the play, and in fact our Ratan Thakur sir, he said, where were you all this years? Why didn't you take this as your field? I think you're made for this.
Yeah.
That's when I got reassured that this is where I want to be. And
so were you doing it parallelly, the filmmaking and this one?
Filmmaking, yes, parallelly.
In parallel?
Parallel with my Honeywell, yeah.
Okay.
And then also the Misfit.
Misfit was after you quit?
No, Misfit 1 was before I quit.
Okay.
And after I quit, I did Misfit Advanced.
Okay. Another question that I have is, when you're in the technical field, normally your circle and your network is also confined to technical people and all that. But okay, of course, you had the theatre connect at least. But was it easy getting into the movies once you decided that I want to act?
Yeah, so once I decided that I wanted to act, so since I had done a short filmmaking course and also a theatre course, so I said, first I'll write a short script and then shoot this short film and let's see how it is being received by people.
Okay.
So luckily, my classmates who were also part of this Misfit, they agreed to be a part of the short film.
Okay.
And then we shot it in just 2 days, because we didn't know what is a camera, angle, cut, shot, nothing. It was just a raw thing. And we just, for fun, we went and did that short film. But luckily, the short film went a long run. It got selected in so many short film fairs.
Oh, wow.
It won some lot of awards.
Also. Okay, nice.
So yeah, so that was kind of very reassuring. That's when I decided, this is where I want to be, and this is where I'm going to continue my journey.
So how was that first step then? Like the first connect, first movie, how did it happen?
In the sense,
so you did the theatre, you released the short film, but how was your entry into the
movies?
And which was your first
movie?
I
get what you're saying. So there was an audition for Humble Politician Nograj.
Okay.
So when so I just applied for it and I went and auditioned just for fun. But then I got selected for that, and they gave me very good feedback as well. So they said I was to enact the role of a lady who has lost her husband, and how she's affected by it. And so those people, they said, "Oh ma, they got goose pimples seeing your audition." I said, "Okay." So then it's good.
Good,
it was more for me. It was a reassurance. Every time these feedbacks only give me a reassurance saying that I'm on the right path, more than anything else.
Yeah. So after that, you started.
So sure, once this Humble Politician Nograj web series was released, there was an audition call for a ZTV advertisement.
Okay.
So I auditioned for that, and Nitin Krishnamurthy, who's that Hostel Hudgaru Bekagida director. So he liked the audition, but he wasn't sure because he felt that I'm very new to the industry. I'll be able to really deliver and all that. So he took my audition some 3-4 times.
Okay.
And then he was convinced, and then I got that opportunity. That particular small bit with the Shrunga, Devi Shrunga, that went viral. A lot of people liked it. Even today for Mother's Day, they keep forwarding it. So that was liked by a lot of people. So that kind of opened up a lot of opportunities for me. And Pooja and Rahul actually saw this small advertisement, and that's how they felt that, okay, well, let's just approach her and see. But then I auditioned for that. They also took some 2-3 auditions for me. So they liked the audition. But I think probably they still had the doubt whether this madam will be able to really... movies is a big thing, right? Short film advertisement is different. So, but luckily it worked for them.
So that was Sakutumba Sametha.
Sakutumba Sametha. Okay. And Sakutumba Sametha was an amazing experience for me. It was my first ever full-fledged, and it was an important role as well. And Rahul and Pooja, they had written the script extremely well. That really helped us deliver, And the briefing that they gave me for my character helped me actually make up my mind. So every time I go on to the set, I will actually invoke the character into me, And since the clarity was there in the briefing, it was very easy for me to actually perform that role. And my co-artist, amazing, Achyut Kumar sir. It was a dream role, I should say. And I got to learn a lot from JP also. Jayalakshmi Patel and Krishna Hebbale, all seasoned artists. So I got to learn a lot from them, and it's good.
So Rekha, how many movies have you enacted, and how many years it's been since you made the switch?
It's been like 3.5 years since I made the switch, and about 15 to 16 films I've worked in now.
Wow, that's really nice.
But some films in a smaller this thing. Some scenes were edited out. So
but so the role became smaller.
But it's fine.
So you've acted mostly in Kannada movies?
Mostly in Kannada films, but I also acted in one Hindi film, Do Aur Do Pyar.
The one with
Vidya Balan and Pratik Gandhi. So I acted as Vidya Balanji's mother.
Okay.
So that was a very nice experience as well. I got an exposure into Bollywood, and also the approaches that different approaches people take, like how Pratik Gandhi approaches his role, or Vidya Balan, how they actually get into the scene, what do they do as pre-preparation for the role, and that kind of insights you get. And also there's another person called Talaivasal Vijay, who did my husband's role. So from him also, we used to have a lot of discussions on films, roles, and that kind of a thing. So that really helped me, I felt, in my growth.
So in the so many movies that you have acted, which is your favorite role?
It's very difficult to pick a favorite.
but maybe something that...
I think Sakutumba was a very close to my heart. 17 years where I played the vice principal. That's another very close to my heart. And Do Aur Do Pyar.
Family drama.
Swati Muttina Malehani.
Yeah, that is also very much...
It was a very small role, but very impactful.
And very well acknowledged.
Well written. That's why well acknowledged. Because it's when the script is very well written and communicated very clearly and crisply, it's very easy for the actors to perform. So these are some films which I really love.
Your latest one.
Maryade Prashne.
How was that?
That was also a very nice experience, Nagendra Shah sir and Sunil Rao and all the youngsters, Adiga, Rakesh Adiga and Shayan Shetty.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And our Teju Belwadi. Everybody was all young. See, that's another thing, about the movies. You get to interact with young people, you can feed off on their energy.
Correct.
And I love that. I really love working with young people because they come with fresh perspectives and they're not conditioned.
Yeah.
This is right, this is wrong. And sometimes it surprises me how well informed they are and how focused they are on and some of these people, they have taken big risks in their life. Most of them are engineers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, most of them I meet on the set are engineers.
Oh, wow.
And it amazes me that they're following their passion right
in the beginning.
Yeah. And they most of them say, I got this degree for my dad, he was saying, I gave the degree in his hand and I'm doing what I want to do. Which is really nice to know.
Yeah. No, it is really nice to know. Both actually, I mean, even the step that you have taken, after working for 23 years also, it's not easy to take that call and say, okay, now let me explore my creative side and all that. I think hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about how people in general and women in particular, there are a lot of them who have a lot of passion within them, but always thinking, maybe tomorrow we'll do it, maybe next year and things like that. And maybe they never do it, right?
Yeah.
So one question I have, Rekha, is how did you develop that mindset that, yes, it's like a cutting off your 23 years of career and moving to something new, right?
Yeah.
So what made you do it?
Yeah, it's a very nice question actually. Cutting off the 23 years is a very important thing because you've trained, you've studied, and you feel, am I just giving up everything that I have learned all these years and then starting from zero?
Yeah.
Those fears will definitely be there. But then for me, what I felt was, see, I have trained. Everything in life comes to an end. There is a shelf life for everything. So I did do my masters, I trained, but I felt that I have experienced most of the possibilities that I wanted to do in my professional career. So maybe research, development, management, and also in software or hardware. I've also worked in hardware, I've worked in software. Lot of roles as an individual contributor, as a leader.
Yeah.
So I have tried everything. I've done everything. So I had that kind of a satisfaction within me that, for whatever I have studied and whatever I trained for, I have used it. I milked it to a maximum. Now, if I don't change my and if I want to experience this creative field, and if I don't change it now, then I won't have time left. So money is one aspect of it where people concentrate a lot, but money is again notional. How much money you need for your really daily life or your living is much, much lesser than what you have in the bank or what you are earning in the bank. And probably you'll never use it as much. But time is something which is definitely limited, so you have to make that call. And if you were really serious about experiencing different aspects of life, then start preparing for it. Just don't make the decision one day and then quit everything, There is a transition process for everything, which I like. In my case, I planned this transition by when I was working in Honeywell, doing the course, doing the training, getting feedback, testing the waters, testing whether I really have it in me to actually take this. All this I did as pre-work before I just jumped into it.
Yeah, it actually makes sense because uh, I think here again we have two kinds of people. One who suddenly decide and say, from tomorrow I'm not going, and you are in the other category where you have thought through the process and then gone. I think that's really a nice advice, Rekha.
So. Another important aspect is when you're changing your profession, you also have to do a lot of financial planning. As a family, whether the resources that you're going to get, because there'll be a transition period where probably you will not be able to earn at all, right? So will you be able to sustain? Do you have enough resources? That's also another important criteria which we'll have to really consider before making drastic decisions, in life, because it's important. Finally.
Yeah, very true.
Passion is one thing, but then you have family and you have financial responsibilities and things like that.
Very true. So Rekha, one question I have is, do you regret that you didn't take this decision earlier?
That's a very good question, actually. I've also been thinking about it, but had I switched or had I taken this as a profession earlier, then the achievements or the roles that I played in my professional field, I could not have done, because I had trained quite a bit for that as well, because I did my bachelor's, master's, fellowship, management, IIM, all kinds of things, So I probably would have been dissatisfied on my technical side.
Correct.
But since I was always in touch with my creative side as well, so I really don't regret.
Okay. Yeah. Rekha, also one more thing that people need is support from their family.
Absolutely.
Because, when you, especially when it is major transitions, I think that is one of the important aspects. So what are your thoughts about it? Like, in your experience, and what would you say to people as well?
Yeah, so especially, women, youngsters, many of the youngsters say my parents don't support me, they don't understand my passion, and this, that, and all. But the parents actually come from a place of love or concern for the children, right? So my point is, if you have always been interested or passionate about this field, do you have a backlog of work which you can show it to your parents? Now, though, it is very easy because you have Instagram, you can give it in numbers, so many followers, and this is how much I earn already on YouTube and things like that. So if you are able to do that and convince them that yes, this is how I'm able to earn, and this is how, and also mainly convince them that all through I have been doing that, this is the response that I've been getting, and it has been good, and I have trained for it. Those are the things, if you are able to convince them, have a talk, probably it will be easier to convince your parents. As if you're talking personally about my family, mostly we make our own decisions. We do discuss with each other on the pros, cons, and all that, but the final decision is definitely left to the individual. Like either my husband makes his decision, I make my son. So everyone has got the independence to make their own decisions in life and take it forward. We do discuss that, but the support is amazing, which I really want to acknowledge my family support here. My dad or my husband, especially my husband. So he, for all the auditions, he plays he gives me clues, and then he records it.
Oh, wow.
So many times in advertisements, he has also enacted as a support character for me.
Okay.
So then when we send the audition, they'll be like, "Ma'am, can you check whether your husband also?" But he's an engineer, so he doesn't want to get into this field or anything. So that much is, I have very good support from my parents as well as.
I think this conversation has been amazing, Rekha.
Thank you so much.
A lot of takeaways in terms of, the main thing that I have taken away from this conversation is preparation. I mean, be it, when you want to have a transition after working for many years in different fields, and like the way you said, even for youngsters today, even if they want to take a switch or follow their passion, how preparing to that will make it more easier, and it's so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I mean, the way you were explaining things and talking about it, I really had a very, very enjoyable conversation. And I was able to connect to a lot of things that you were talking about, especially when you were talking about the theater and the movies and all that. Lot of points, like I said, which we don't even think sitting here.
Okay.
It was like really nice to know.
Okay.
Because, you know, we are confined to our world, but when you learn new things about the other fields, it makes you so much more curious. So thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Sneha, for having me for this interview. I really enjoyed, and it has been a pleasure. And thank you so much for watching the interview, and all the best.